Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome to another live video. If you've never been here before, I'm Marlene, and this is Marlene's How To's, my home and garden channel. And we're right in the middle of the fall season, so of course it's a very exciting time. But we're also, at the point of looking towards Thanksgiving, and so we want to put plans in place. So today I'm going to go over the different things that we do, whether it's entertaining, traveling, food prepping, all of that. We're going to go through all the steps from a month out, which we kind of like are in that ballpark right now. And then going forward, then, we'll go ahead and, just have everything scheduled out as we go along. And my husband's going to be joining us today. He's going to be helping me because I'm going to also decorate a little space in my house. So while I'm doing that, he's going to be my spotter. And of course, we'll just have a little chit chat, the various things that we do for Thanksgiving. So I do see to Georgia Peachy. She says, hi, everyone. Hello, and welcome. So glad to see you. So glad you could join me. And let me just put a little note in here really quick to say hi to everyone. And then I'll go ahead and get started here. All right, so that's not going over, but that's fine. So the first thing to do is if you take a look and to see whether or not you are going to be staying home or if you're going to be traveling. Are you going to be entertaining people in your home, or are you going to be going out and having be at someone else's house? Okay, so we see Bruce Lee's on there. He says, hi, Miss Marlene. Hi, Bruce. How are you doing? So good to see you. And so, like I said, traveling, that's a big thing you want to make sure that you are aware of, getting that set up, because the tickets, you have to decide, am I going to be flying or am I going to be driving, depending on how far away it is, of course. If you are going to be flying, they have been telling us that the tickets, the holiday tickets, they're not getting any cheaper. The prices are going to be going up. So you definitely want to make sure that you are, booking those immediately. Don't wait, because if you wait, then the price is going to be higher and that's more money out of your pocket. If you are going to be, like saying drive, are you going to be taking your own car? Sometimes some people, it's a larger group that's traveling, so they want to maybe like rent a minivan or something like that, an SUV or whatever, depending on where they're going. So if that is the case for you, then you'll want to make sure that you are renting that car ahead, because so many times you hear people coming down to the wire, they're trying to book a vehicle like a week out from the date. And that is really, really too close. At that point in time, it's just kind of like, they don't have any vehicles available for you, especially like the higher demand vehicles, like the larger ones and so on. Those are typically hard to get. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and get those ahead of time. That's as far as your traveling goes. And also, if you're going to be staying at a hotel, then you want to go ahead and, rent your the hotel where you're going to be staying. If it's like a Airbnb type thing, you want to get that done. And of course, if it's a larger hotel, you want to make sure that you book your rooms, get whatever discounts you can get. So definitely you want to do that. All right. So now if you are going to be, so we're going to be looking at someone who's basically, having Thanksgiving at their home for the most part here, because we already touched on the traveling part of it. So first thing you want to do is to make sure that you have your guest list ready, reach out to people if you haven't done it already to see who's going to be coming. And that way you have an idea of how many people you're catering for, because of course that's going to affect everything that you do. So you definitely want to make sure that you are checking on that. The next thing again is, what kind of a setup are you going to have? Is it going to be something that's formal, or is it going to be something that's casual? If it's going to be something that's casual, to Georgia Peaches says, I'll be at home. Okay, well, I'll be too, but I'm going to be having people over. So, this is kind of for me too. So I'm putting it out there, but at the same time, it's like I am also, trying to make sure that I, give information, just things to think about. Sometimes you don't think about them until the last minute, and you're just like, oh my goodness. And it reduces stress, guys. When you get this prepared ahead of time, then there is less stress. So it's easier for you. So regarding the, knowing if you're going to be formal, are people going to dress up for dinner? Because sometimes you go to Thanksgiving and people dress up really, really fancy, Sunday best, to come out to Thanksgiving. Or is it going to be more of a laid back, dress up, how people are going to be attired and come on over? Because that's going to also determine like how you're going to decorate. Is it going to be a little bit more glam, a little bit more fancy, or a little bit more laid back? So you want to also decide, how am I going to do it? Am I going to be, in a more fancy type affair, more formal, or is it going to be something that's more casual? So you want to get your guest list ready. Then once you've gotten the guest list ready, then what you want to do is to check to see, the type of foods that people eat. Because, if most times it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it may be coworkers that's coming over. But it's always good to talk to people and to find out what kind of allergies they have. Or they have any aversion to certain food. Because, like us, for example, sometimes people, as a side, they like to cook like, certain things made with shrimp, lobster or whatever. And that's really nice for those who like it and those who can have it. But I can't have it. My family can't have it. So if that's going to be like one of the main things, then, it would not be catering for us. So you always want to make sure that you get, that information from your guests ahead of time. So that way, who's going to be doing what. And so you can understand that, you just make this as a side or whatever the case may be. Bruce Lee says, good idea. Do not want anyone getting sick. Right. So that's the food allergies and food aversion. So therefore, you go ahead and you make sure that you get that handled. And then there's also the issue of people, getting along with people. That's another thing, unfortunately, it's a part of life. There are some people that don't get along well with others. So when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you see people in a way that it's going to be not too much of an issue. Okay, so my husband is joining me right now. Let me make a little space for him to come on over. This is my husband, Mark. If you were on my last live, you would have seen him here. And like I said, I'm going to be decorating a little spot today. So for that reason, I'll need for him to be my spotter. So you'll need to look at the comments as they come in. Okay. And basically, read them out for me once we get to that point in the live video. So again, we want to see like, just, if there are any, relational issues, people don't get along, and they decide that they both want to come to what you're putting on. And sometimes this may be something that happens every year. Then you want to set your place settings in a way that it doesn't cause, like any friction there or anything like that.
That's a good idea. Yep.
Yes. All right. So we looked at, traveling for those who are traveling to get your tickets, get your hotels booked. If you're renting a car, go ahead and get that done. So you have that under your belt. And then, to get your guest list ready so you know how many people you're catering for, because that's a big deal right there. If people have food allergies or food aversions, then you want to make sure that you're looking at that. Hey, Johnson Home Decor. She said, good evening, Miss Marlene and Mark. So she is here. And we also have Mary Precious Jones. Hello, and welcome. We're actually looking at preparing for Thanksgiving. It's coming up. It's not too far away. And we're basically like a month out from there. So it's really a good idea to start planning right now so that you have your plans in place and it causes you less stress. Because honestly, the holidays are really about enjoying your time with your family and friends. And if you're stressed out about it, it's kind of like, it just takes away so much of the fun from it. So we're just kind of going over a few things here to help with that. And then I'm going to be decorating a little space in my home. So you can basically look at that and give me some ideas. So Mary Precious Jones say hello, everyone. So welcome, my dear. So glad to see you. All right. So then we're going to be looking at the menu. And guys, I would love to see what you guys are going to be planning on your menu. Drop me a comment right there. I'm so anxious to see because we have ladies. Mary Precious Jones, she has a YouTube channel as well. And she does like, shopping hauls, gardening, and she's also a realtor as well too. So I know she can cook. I can just tell. So I know you're going to be throwing it down, but check out our channel, guys. Mary Precious Jones, she's right in there. We have, of course, Mondale, one of my ride or dies, Johnson Home Decor. Check her out too. I know she can throw down too. And she, is an island girl. So of course, I know that she's going to be bringing some island food up in there, right, Mondale? Am I wrong? Let me know.
And I remember her husband is helping out with
yes, that's right. Because my husband, he sees your videos, ladies. Sometimes I kind of like, so you got to take a look at this one and I'll share it with him so he can see, right? But anyway, we're talking about the food. So like I said, I really want to see what you guys are going to do. But we typically do turkey. And we've had people ask us for turkey, like for jerk turkey, because, we are from Jamaica. So sometimes we'll actually, use a jerk seasoning and jerk the turkey. And it's something very different and people love it. They always want more of it. I remember one of my coworkers, when she came up for one Thanksgiving and she was very pregnant. And she really wanted to she's just like, I want to have that baby. She came here the Thursday. And I don't make my food very spicy like that because I can't have spicy food like that anymore. It's been years since I can't. But, a little bit of spicy here and there. She said, Marlene, thank you so much. I had the baby on Saturday. She called and she told me. So it did help because they say like sometimes you eat like, you drink thyme tea or you have certain type of spices. It kind of helps. to get the baby coming over, a little easier. So she said that that seemed to have worked. So I'm going to take her word for it. But yes, guys, jerk chicken. So let me see what Mary Precious Jones is saying now. She says, I'll be eating at my sister's house for Thanksgiving. She'll be doing all, oh no.
Hey, you got to take a break, man. When you
Yes.
get a break, you take
Take
it
it,
and
right?
run.
Because I'm guessing that sometimes you cook too and they come over to you. So, and it's good to take turns so
Yeah.
that you don't have one person stressed all the time. It's just this one person every time cooking. And I know some people, they love to do that. But there's nothing wrong with just taking a little side dish along. If you're traveling far, it might go bad or something.
Yes.
But if it's not too far away, you can always, make a little side dish and carry for them and just put a little of your own little flair on it too. So yeah, she says, yes, I'll take that break and run.
Good for you. Good for you.
So I am guessing that most likely you more than likely have, catered for everyone quite a few times in your life. And I'm honestly not even surprised about that. But so yes, so we do turkey here. And guys, be sure to give me a thumbs up, by the way, those of you are on. It definitely helps, this to go out to other people once the video is over. Or even while we're on, they'll still send it out to other people. So we're not pork eaters, so we don't have like ham. But I know a lot of people, like ham for Thanksgiving as well, and they prepare it in different ways. Thank you. She said a thumbs up. So people, they like ham, so they'll prepare that, and it works really well for them. And it's just what you like. And again, if you're gonna have people that come over and they don't eat pork, of course you want to make sure that you have something else along with that, so that they will, feel comfortable and not be like, I guess I'm not gonna be having any protein today. And some people, they do a lot of dishes. They do a lot of different things. I try to stick to 3 meats. Sometimes it may even be 2 different meats, like different meat types that I do. Sometimes we'll do like some, roast beef, and slice it really thin, not like the pot roast type, but the one that's roasted like a big
Yeah.
cut of it. And he's actually the expert at roasting beef. He's a little bit better than me, actually. So we'll do it, and then we'll slice it into like thin slices. And then it's always so flavorful. That gravy is always so good. So we have beef, we'll have turkey, and just a few other things in
Yeah.
there. But it's not going to be shellfish or ham because we don't have either of those. But people do so many things. I've heard of one where they're like 3 different chickens in one. I don't know if you have, what do you call it, turducken or something like that.
Third.
Yeah, they have the turkey and they stuff the turkey with the chicken, and then they stuff the chicken with a duck. So it's turkey, chicken, and duck. It's 3 different birds in one. I don't know how they do it, honestly. I guess maybe they cut it up and stuff it in there. I have no idea how it works, but I know it's been around maybe for about 10 years, maybe even a little bit more. Wandale from John's Home Decor says, wow, that sounds good. Yes, because if you have that, honestly, you really don't need to have anything else. That's going to be it, right? You won't need to have anything else, because you have 3 different meats right there. They're all poultry, but nevertheless, that's
Different
3 different
textures
meats. Yeah,
and
different
flavors.
textures too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have duck, but I don't have it that often. And of course, you have your sides, because sometimes some people say, guess what? We came here for the
Stuffing.
sides,
Mhm.
like the stuffing, your baked potatoes. What do they call them now? They have
Yams.
like potato souffle, and then the sweet potato souffle. That is one of my favorite things. I'm not that good at making it. I usually just cut mine across and just layer them, with butter, sugar, and a few spices and so on. But some people, they mash out the sweet potatoes or yams. Some people call them sweet potatoes, some call them yams. I'm from Jamaica, so we call them sweet potatoes. But I'll try sometimes to switch over if I remember to do it. But I've had some really, really good ones. Even one year, somebody brought one as a side dish from the Publix made it, and it was so good. I don't know what they put in there, but it was absolutely excellent. But a lot of
Cinnamon
times,
and butter.
cinnamon and butter, yeah, definitely that's a part of it too. But I'm sure they put something else because it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't stop eating this, and it's so sweet. But it was really, really good, right? So we have like I said, different potato type of things. Some people, they do the green bean casserole and they put the French what do you call it? French, is it French onions on top?
Yeah.
Anybody
It's
done
French
that?
onions.
French onions, yeah. I've never tried to make it, but I've had people come to my house and they have brought it with them, and it was, really quite enjoyable. So, any ideas of any other sides that you guys normally do or you like to have when you go out? Another one again is macaroni and cheese. That's a really delicious one,
good
especially if you
staple.
really know how to make it. Especially if you have kids. Honestly, unless the kid is vegan, I have never met a kid that doesn't like macaroni and cheese. I'm just gonna be honest. And especially if you really know how to make it really good, then it's always a winner, at the table, the macaroni and cheese. So Mary Precious Jones says, yes, I use a casserole. Use a casserole with French onion. Yeah, I've seen it before and I've had it. And they put like I think the cream of mushroom in there. Yeah. She said you can't leave out mac and cheese. Absolutely. And that's what I was saying. It's just kind of like that's a winner, especially when you have kids. Especially, like when you're a kid, sometimes, even I as a kid, sometimes I was a finicky eater. Sometimes I think back and I said, Lord have mercy, I gave my mom so much problems with what to cook. Because we didn't like this, we didn't like that. But as you get older, you tend to like more stuff and, it got wider, in the things that we liked. So basically, that's a good side there. The mac and cheese that always goes over really well. I'm trying to think. Sometimes we'll do like a coleslaw, on the
Yeah.
side as well too. Sometimes we'll just maybe like do some green beans by themselves. Those are good too. And two Georgia peaches. I know I'm guessing that you're a good cook too. So I'd love to see what you do there. And even though I'm from the islands, because of the flavor that we're going for, I tend to stay away from things that would typically go with the regular island food, maybe like fried plantains. I wouldn't necessarily do this because I don't think it goes really well. Even if I do like the jerk chicken, I don't think that the something like fried plantains goes over really well with that.
Yeah.
So your Patricia says sweet potato pie.
Yeah,
Oh yes,
definitely.
we are
Yeah.
definitely coming to that one. And Bruce Lee says shepherd's pie. Yes, I have a neighbor who does that so good. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I gotta get that recipe from her. It is so delicious. But yes, so those are some of the things, the sides that we have. And another thing too, guys, is sometimes you hear of a recipe and I almost forgot. How could I forget greens, colored greens? That's a big thing at the Thanksgiving table. And some people are really good at cooking it. They know how to strip them and what to put in there. And some people they use like ham hocks in there to give it that smoke flavor. But in recent years, I had someone who actually used a smoked turkey neck, and it was so very delicious. I absolutely enjoyed it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna try that in mine. She said, I love to cook rice and peas and green beans and salad is a must. Yes.
Yes.
So rice and peas, and that sounds very Jamaican. So yeah, that's what we do either with kidney beans or pigeon
Ooh.
peas or pinto beans, whatever it is. And that's how we just call it rice and peas because it could be any one of those legumes that we
Okay,
put
I'm
in
hungry
there.
now. I'll be back.
You better not go
Okay.
anywhere. So yeah, so she said rice and peas, yes, green beans, and of course a salad, the healthier stuff. You want to make sure that you have your salad going there so that way, it's all nice and delicious and healthy too. So you don't feel so much guilt because you said, I put in my healthy food today. So that's always, a plus to have that there. And let me see what Mary Precious Jones said here. Now she says yes. Turnip greens, yes, are good as well. I use the smoked turkey necks. Okay, yeah. So I had like I said, a neighbor who did carry that over her greens over one time, and it was so good. Actually, I went to her house that time, and she had put the smoked turkey neck in there along with the but she used collard greens, but turnip greens are really good too. And it was so good. And once I actually I made greens, the greens on the beet, like the beetroot, because normally we
Those
have the
are
red
good.
part. Yes,
Those are
because
good.
what
Mhm.
happens is that we figure that in most cases we figure, let me come over so we can see you a little bit more. We figure in most cases that the beets are the part that you want, but I found out in a few years ago that actually the greens have more nutrition in them than the root itself, the red part. But it's just that you don't have a lot of them to cook with because they're kind of expensive. But if you have the greens on your beets, don't throw them away, guys, because you can use them just like how you cook like your collard greens, or if you're from
Spinach.
Jamaica,
Mhm.
spinach, or if you're from Jamaica,
Yeah.
like your callaloo, we cook those that way. And you can use your, the greens off your beets. So it's very good for that.
It has a lot of what is it? Vitamin K somehow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of different
Yeah.
things. Iron, vitamin K, other vitamins as well too.
Mm.
So and Brucey said football game snacks. Yeah, those work too. Like and that's the next thing again too. When you're planning your menu, because you have people coming in different ways. You'll have people who will they'll come and they'll be with you like pretty much for most of the day. So you kind of want to make sure that you have like appetizers for them, snacks for them. The main meal is there, of course. And you have some people who they just drop in. You just need like a little dessert for them, maybe like a slice of pie,
Coffee.
like a nice cake, some coffee. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Some coffee, like something to drink, different things like that. If you're into wines and stuff, you want to have like your different beverages for them to drink. So you always want to make sure that you have enough of those. And then as far as recipes, because sometimes you'll hear and you want to try like new recipes out. But I would say for the, if you're gonna do something different, like you've never done it before, please, guys, do not experiment when you are cooking your Thanksgiving. That is the worst time to
Yep,
do it.
try it before. Yeah,
Try it
maybe
at least
see how it works out.
a week before, nothing even nearer than that, because at that point your mind is already set on Thanksgiving. You're getting all of these things done and everything. So you just want to make sure that you test it out ahead of that time. So okay, it needs a little tweaking here, a little tweaking there. Or you know what, this is probably just not the thing for me. It probably just needs a lot of work that I don't have the time for that right now. So, you want to test out any new recipes that you're going to do at least a week, maybe even 2 weeks out if you can, or maybe even like, this weekend here, you could test out your newer recipes and just see how it goes. If it's going to work, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So bear that in mind as well. And guys, I heard that this year they're saying it's rumored that we are going to be out of canned pumpkin.
Yeah.
So if you are able to buy because if you use it now, as Mary, you mentioned pies and so on, if you use like, the canned pumpkin to make your pies or your souffles or whatever, then you want to make sure you go and you get them now, because if you wait until the last minute, you may not find any available. And guys, we're still in the pandemic. It's not fully over yet. So there's a scarcity of, workers in some places, or just the product itself. We've had droughts in some areas, flood in other areas. It affected all of these crops. So it's short. So, go and get your canned pumpkin as soon as you can, so that we don't have to worry at the last minute. So, you can give me a thumbs up if you didn't think of it, but you haven't given me a thumbs up yet. So definitely something to bear in mind there, guys. Get your canned pumpkin. So then you want to make sure now, because for me personally, I know that when I'm doing my Thanksgiving, because we're talking about the size of the people that's coming as well. When I'm doing my Thanksgiving, I make sure that if I'm having, and that's just me personally, if I'm having more than 10 people, because one table sits 6 and the other one sits 4. If I'm having more than 10 people, I'm probably going to be putting some paper products in there, like paper plates. And you can let me know, guys, how you feel about that. I personally, I like to use like the glass plates, like if it's 10 people, but you can always mix them. You can make everything else, your regular glass or even your glasses, but you just give them on a paper plate and, like as a Thanksgiving theme. So it looks pretty, you put it on a charger type plate. So it still looks good and it works, because you don't want to have, to be having a lot of things to wash up and clear up. You can just trash them and you're good to go, on to the next thing.
Yeah, Mondale says there's a shortage in butter also. Yeah. So
Oh,
good to know. So maybe
yeah,
you
I
should
didn't know about
start
that.
stocking up on some of those things. Not just for Thanksgiving, but also for Christmas, which comes afterwards. So it'd be
Yes,
a good thing to
good
start just
idea. Yeah, definitely.
stocking up
So,
some of these things. Yeah.
yeah, so and I did notice the other day, I didn't realize that there was a shortage. I thought maybe it was just the Walmart that I went to, because I shop at Walmart most times, sometimes at Publix, and there was not a lot of butter there. So I figured, oh, maybe the stock hasn't come in. But you're right, maybe it could be a thing that we are going to be short on butter with all the baking that I do. That Christmas black cake and everything.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I have my butter for Thanksgiving and for Christmas time as well. But yeah, so you decide, you can let me know in the comments, guys. Do you use like all glassware, all of those breakables, or do you also, put in a little bit of paper plates as well, depending on the size that you're catering for? So I remember once I had I think it was our housewarming many, many years ago, like 2 decades ago, around about there. But we had about 40 people in this house, and there's no way paper plates was a must. I'm just like, no, 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 no. And then we kind of like tapered it off a little bit for future get-togethers, like 28 at the most. I mean, that's kind of it for me. But each to his own. You decide how you want to do it. But that's basically, how I did mine. And you also want to make sure that you have to-go boxes, because especially, those of you who are good cooks out there, and you
Yeah.
have enough food, people come and they always want to take away some food. So you want to make sure that you have some nice to-go boxes so they can, put those in them, or even like some large, as well as I should say some large, but you said we use paper plates. I hear you,
Yeah.
girl. I'm on your team. Once you're over 10 people, there gonna be some paper plates in there. But yes, guys, even along with the paper plate, I mean, sorry, the takeaway boxes, you want to also make sure that you have like some large Ziploc bags so they can, put them in there and carry their stuff out if it will
Yeah.
fit. But they have like the 1 gallon sizes, and they have the 2.5. So those are really big. Those can hold quite a few things. Or maybe just like some little grocery bags that are clean, so they can just put them in there and carry them away. They don't have to like be holding like different things in their hand and balancing them out and all of that.
And also, what I think is that I mean, sometimes people will offer to bring things. So
Yes.
things like potato salads and so on. That's a typical common thing, but because you have to be concerned about transporting all that.
Safety. Yeah.
Yeah, I normally recommend that the host would do the potato salad because things like that spoil easily. You don't want anybody getting sick. So
That's true. Potato,
that's what I'd
but
recommend.
like when I
Yeah.
was growing up, potato salads, we would go on picnics sometimes in Jamaica, and we would take a potato salad with us, and it was there for like up into half of the day, and nobody got food poisoning, nobody got sick
Yeah,
of it
but
or anything. But in recent times,
GMO.
it's like
So yeah.
everything has
Mm.
changed. So it's kind of like you can get sick easily off of those. So it really has to be at the right temperature, especially if you make it cold, because some people make their potato salad warm, and I've done it both ways. I've done potato salad warm, and I've done potato salad cold. So it just depends on, but especially if you're making it cold and it has to maintain that kind of cold temperature, you want to make sure that it's packaged properly, or just do it, you're the host, just do it from your home if people always, are coming for that. So let me take a look at some of the comments here. Mary Precious Jones says, yes, to go boxes, leave the store fast. Stock up now, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnson Home Decor says, yes, take boxes so your family can take the whole house away.
Hey.
And Mondale, I remember that and this is for Johnson's Home Decor. For those of you who are coming on, you're seeing her. These are my two ladies here. We have two fellow YouTubers on here. We have two Georgia Peaches. Her channel is very, very new. So you can check her out. She does like earrings. She's just wanting to get some feedback for her products because she hasn't really launched them yet. But you can check her out. She just does shorts for right now. So it's two Georgia Peaches. She should show up on here. If you scroll through the notes, you'll see them on there. But we also have Johnson Home Decor, Mondale, and Mira Precious Jones, two ladies who are really good at decorating and so on, and all the other things that, is involved around that. So I remember that Mondale from Johnson Home Decor, she recently had, I think it was maybe a short or something. I can't remember. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you had like a party at your house and you were showing the mess that people lived, and it was like, come on now. But that's something I'm going to touch on further down about being a good house guest. But you had quite a bit to do there. Wesley says, congrats, Lady Johnson. And she says, yeah, so they can take everything away. So guys, so that's your to-go boxes. Make sure that you have enough of those. And that brings me on to the next thing, which is, being a good house guest. And that's what I just touched on. Let me see. To Georgia Peaches says, hi, we'll have our site up soon. Okay, great.
Okay, cool.
And she said, yes, it's a Father's Day party. So it was. Okay. So we're talking about being a good house guest. And we can even start from the end. And we can go to the start. You're going to someone's house and they invited you over. When a mess is made, there's nothing wrong in asking them, do you need any help cleaning up? Just because there's always stuff coming. And like we said, Mondale, we use paper products as well too for some of the things that we do. You can start just putting them in the trash. Sometimes people may leave one on a table somewhere, on a counter somewhere. If it's been neglected, you can even ask, does anybody want this? If you want to ask, but if it looks like nobody wants it, you can just take it and put it in the trash and help to clear the stuff off. And that's just being a good house guest, because the host already set everything up for you, had everything nicely done, their home cleaned and everything. So it really is good to help to clear away stuff. And if you're one of the later ones, you'll definitely know at that point, because some people, they have other appointments and they were just stopping in, so it's not appropriate for them. But if you're in the latter part of the group, start helping to clean up. Because if you're running the dishwasher, when it's going, then you can't put anything else in there. And there are things that you just want to clear away. You want to wash up some things. Right. So, that's a good thing. So we're going from the end, since we, started on that. But, when you're going to, to someone's house as a guest, whether you're staying over or you're just visiting, it's good to, when you get there, or to get there, you give them a nice little, like a nice little gift. It doesn't have to be anything major. It can be like a scented candle. It can be, maybe like a bottle of wine if they're drinkers of wine, or, you might know their favorite beverage. You can carry. Honestly, sometimes it doesn't even have to be like, anything like wine. You can just, would you like guys like me to make a drink? Maybe you make like a nice punch or some, nice fruit drink or something you can offer to bring it for them. But if you're not able to make it, because you're running around doing errands and whatever, it doesn't allow for that, you can just go ahead and maybe even grab them some drinks. They have like a little sparkling, what is it? The sparkling apple juice, ciders and all of those things. You can just grab a couple of those, maybe 3 of them, even 2, and just bring those along with them. It's in a nice little bottle already dressed up for you. You can just go ahead and bring it on over. And that, helps alleviate some of the stuff that they have to do. And it looks really pretty. And speaking of that, they also have like the holders, that you hold like bottles of wine
Wine.
in and drinks like that. You can just give them that as a gift, drop it in a little, gift bag and take along a nice, like wine bottle holder for them. And that's a good gift too. So you can give them beverages, like holders for their, wines or whatever, like scented candles. I don't know if you guys can think of anything else. And you can always add them in the comments and let me know, like, what are good housewarming gifts? And, just things that are, like kind of universal that most people will like this,
Right.
nothing with too strong of scent. If it's a candle, like it kind of like goes way over to the side. It's like, I probably never use this, but just something that, people typically use, or even it can even be like a personal item if you know the person kind of well enough, but just things that you don't have to worry about size and fit. Maybe like a nice scarf if it's cooler where they are, just something that's neutral. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. But just little things to think of, just bring a nice little gift for them when you come over. I mean, if you're not in a place where you can do it, then that's fine. But just habitually just try to bear that in mind when you're coming over. Just bring something nice for them, and I'm sure that will bring a smile on their face. The next thing again is socializing, being a good guest as well too. When you're socializing, it helps if you can't just come and say, oh, the party was so dead, it was so lame or whatever. But what did you put into it? If you just sit in a corner by yourself, you never talk to anyone. And most people, at a party, they're quite open to a little conversation. You just go over and be like, hi, because sometimes the host may be busy. They don't get to introduce you to everybody. That can happen sometimes. You can just go ahead and say hi. Isn't this food really nice? Or, do you, just something that is not very committed in the sense that you're going to like, offend somebody or whatever. You can say, this is really good, isn't it? That's a good place to start. And people talk about the weather like it's cliche and boring, but guess what? It's something you can talk about. It was really cold today, wasn't it? Or it was really warm today, or the leaves are pretty outside, or I traveled down and it was such a nice drive coming in, or a nice flight, or just start some conversation going, so that way you can be a part of it and you leave feeling better because you had some interaction with everyone, because sometimes we sit and we wait for someone to do something, and then you know it doesn't happen, and then you leave away feeling disappointed. So you can always be, because people are shy sometimes, but there's just some basic guidelines, guys. Just say hi, or you don't even have to say hi if you feel uncomfortable saying hi. Just say something about something. The weather is really something today, isn't it? Or Christmas is just around the corner. Just any little random thing that is neutral. You can start off with that, and it that'll definitely work for you. So just try to be a part of it. And like when you get there, if you see that the host is still doing this, doing that, because sometimes you can run behind. You can always ask, is there anything I can help you with? Sometimes it's just maybe you haven't made the salad yet. They can come and just make sure that you get the salad going, so that you can show them, you can wash your hands. This is just an easy way to make sure that your hands are clean. The restroom is right here. You can always go ahead and use it. The powder room is here. You can always go and wash your hands, but say it in a way you're not going to tell them you have to wash your hands, but just kind of like say it in a way that they're like, okay. You show it to them and they can wash your hands, and they come and they can help you make a salad, or put stuff out, or whatever the case may be. So there are different ways to do it, just to help your host. And guys, you can give me a thumbs up if you're getting any information on this. If you're just joining me, my name is Marlene. This is my husband Mark. He started joining me on the lives, and I really appreciated it. Definitely helps. And we're just talking about preparing for Thanksgiving from like a month out, which is where we are, the different things to bear in mind. So that way, you can get everything lined up. And we mentioned important, if you bake pies and you bake, you make souffles and all of those things. They said there's going to be a canned pumpkin shortage this year. So you want to go out and get them if it's something that you normally use. Butter. So you make sure that you have it. And Mondale from Johnson's Home Decor said we're going to have a shortage of butter as well too. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you get those as well.
And since there's a shortage on those, I mean, if you find that there's like shortage like on eggs and so on, you can probably buy them and freeze them, and then you thaw them out closer to the time.
Yeah, that's an option too. Because some people they freeze a lot of things too. I don't like to freeze eggs, but some people do. But you make sure you thaw them out well ahead of time, so they're coming down to fridge temperature before you actually use them. And you bring me to the next good point, which is to get your refrigerator and your freezer cleaned out. Because you have that big turkey. Most of us will be doing a turkey. So if you're doing a turkey, especially the large ones, you want to have space to put it. So if you have a freezer, you want to make sure that you clean it out nicely. Make sure that you have enough space in there to fit your turkey once you have it in. And for me personally, when I buy my turkey normally, because Thanksgiving is a Thursday, it always is on a Thursday. Usually I put mine from the freezer into the fridge on Monday night. So that way it's gonna thaw out properly for Thursday. Some people I know they cook from Wednesday. Some people do a lot of cooking the night before. They start cooking from Wednesday night because they do so many things.
Right.
Some people, when you hear them other things that they do, them, it's like, oh my gosh, but they have different people helping, like family members and so on. So but that's I usually do mine cook mine on the day early on the day off. So that's as far as like I was saying, being a good house guest, and then cleaning your refrigerator and your freezer. Make sure that those are nice and clean for you. And sometimes some people end up going in your refrigerator. They may have to go in there to get something. You want your refrigerator to be looking nice, right? You want them to be like, oh my gosh, what's going on in here? So you want to go ahead and make sure that that is clean and nice for them too. And just a general cleaning, like you guys, Mondale and Johnson Home Decor, her channel is cleaning. She does a lot of
Yeah.
cleaning on there. So you can always check her out for that, purpose, but it's always good to get your house cleaned. I'd say maybe like Mondale, you can tell me how soon it is for you because you're the big expert on that part of it. But usually if you have house guests coming, maybe like about 5 days out, you go and you prep the room that they're going to be staying in or rooms that they're going to be staying in, if they have nice bedding in there, the powder rooms are clean. And then, when like the day before they come, it can just be a light cleaning, be like, oh my gosh, I have all of this to do. So
Yeah, that would be a good. That would be a good thing for you to do.
yeah, cleaning your house for Thanksgiving.
That's
See,
a
there you
good, that's a
go.
good one
Yeah,
there.
that's a good
So
one. Like
yeah,
just before. So, you kind of want to go ahead and get that prepared for them where get everything, like a real heavy clean, like maybe like, a week before, 5 days before. And then the day before, you just, do a little light cleaning for them, make sure everything is good.
Mhm.
Powder rooms are ready, have your towels out, everything looks good. And for your powder room where everyone goes downstairs or upstairs or wherever it may be, then that is all set to nice towels and everything like that. It's smelling good, your candles, your air fresheners, all of those things. And if you have concerns about, about spread of whatever, you can always make sure you have some disinfecting spray to spray the place sometimes, and also a little hand sanitizer off to the side. So if you're having snacks, they can always use it and just grab what they need. So that's as far as cleaning out. And the next part now, guys, is entertaining. You want to think of how are you going to entertain your guests. You want to make sure you have some music going. What kind of music do they like? Are they more, like a slow paced music? You can mix it up throughout, the afternoon or evening or whatever. Some people may be there all day. So you know what kind of music your guests like. So you have good music going for them. And also entertaining, like the games part of entertaining. You can play games with them. There are different things you do for fun. And it's all just to lighten the mood. Some people I know they love spades. I have never learn to play spades. I can do this because I live in America and I've never played spades before, but I know that people who play spades, I've seen them. They are very, very passionate about it. If you are a
Competitive.
spades player, you can drop me a comment in there, how you feel about that game. But I'm telling you, they're like, I've even heard people say, someone is playing the game with them, and they're like, if you don't know how to play spades, don't partner up with me. So spades, yes, guys, but Chinese checkers and games for the kids too, not just for the adults. Games for the kids are like Chinese checkers. Some people like chess. Monopoly is a longer game, so unless you have a house guest video and they're gonna be there with you for like the whole day, the day before, they can play some Monopoly. You can put me, some idea of some games that you play too during that time. A lot of card playing in Jamaica. That's a big thing for us.
Dominoes.
People like to play cards and dominoes. Dominoes is really the big one though. That's a very big thing for and just Caribbean families in general too. And some people, just like how people are really good at spades, they can read the game, they know what's going on next, know how many cards you have in your hand, what you're gonna do next. I'm not good like that. My husband, he is. You can play it really good like that. They can know like, okay, they're like, you're blocked. They already know that you're blocked, that you can't play anything because they already know everything. And they didn't see your hand, but they know based on how you're playing and based on what came up, that you don't have any that you can put down. So like, you're blocked, and they block the whole game and then they win. But yeah, that's kind of similar to what I was saying now, to spades. But yeah, so that's entertaining, guys. You want to make sure that you have, games to entertain your guests. If sometimes another game, is a game usually on Thanksgiving. I think
Yeah, they're
so.
all like, there are games on, there are football games
Yeah.
on and all that.
Yeah.
So
Usually there are football games.
yeah,
So as far as I
so
remember. So and you know, if you have like a living room and a family room, some people have a game room. But I like when if your game room is like, in unless you want to maybe have the kids go down or something.
yeah, it's
But
good to
I
have a different area for the
yeah.
kids so they
But
can
sometimes, but
hang
I
out.
just like when everybody is together. You may have like because like we have a family room and we also have the living room as well. Just people go in different places and just kind of like interact. And they can play the games wherever. But if you can set it up in the area for them to play games, and of course you could do it somewhere else. And again, each to his own. But the kids' rooms are optional. But just make sure that somebody pays an eye on them every now and then to make sure that they are safe, that they're playing nice in the sandbox. Because you know how it is sometimes. Gotta keep an eye on the kids. So that's as far as that goes. So I would say just bear those things in mind when you're doing it, that you're all set with that. And then you want to also make sure that you get your grocery list together. So the grocery list together because we did touch a little bit on that, but just make sure that we talked about it already. Like how many people you're planning for, so you know exactly what you're gonna need. And guys, you may want to just take a dry run and look at the prices because
Right.
everything has gone up. And if you live in America, those of you watching from other places, because I know in the UK it's the same thing. I have UK people who view me from the UK, the channel that is, people who watch from Canada,
The
from
Caribbean.
the Caribbean, different. Some people
Yeah.
even far away as Australia, and different countries have their own different Thanksgiving. So this can be something that you can use when it comes to your time around for your Thanksgiving if it hasn't gone already. But the price of things have gone up all over the world, guys, and then there's a shortage as well. So you want to go and just do a dry run, take a look in the stores and see, like how are things going and decide what you can afford, but you may have to scale back. If things are good and you can afford whatever you want, then absolutely go for it. But yes, guys, make a little grocery list of the things you need. As I say, he's checking the list and checking it twice, check it twice. Make sure you check for everything and go ahead and get all the things that you need and get all of your seating arrangements made. We did talk about cleaning already and just putting your plans in place. Plan like from what you're going to do from 2 weeks or what you're going to do from a week out, because again you just want to make sure that everything is as stress free as possible inside of your home when you're entertaining people, so that way things are good to go. So we did talk about cleaning, and of course the next big thing is decorating. So I did have a few items here. I'm just going to be decorating this nook that I have right here. So my husband, he's going to go ahead and take a look at the comments and just tell me like if you're saying anything, so he can tell me what's going on. He's going to be my spotter right now as I go ahead and just put a few items up there. So let me just shift around a little bit. If you can just angle it for them so they can see it, and if it's is that a good enough angle there, you could just maybe put it like so. I don't know.
No, I'm good.
So I guess I'm probably gonna start at the top. I got these flowers. I don't know what you think about these. Do you think these look good? You can let me know in the comments. And what type of flowers do you normally go for the because this is kind of like a dark yellow, so it kind of like with a little hint of oranges in there. You look at some of the leaves, right? You can see like a little blush of orange on there. We have like some cattails on here because I'm basically going for that kind of theme. The picture up on the wall that you're seeing right there, and of course that is not a Thanksgiving picture, so I'll have to take that down and put one I have with some ducks flying over like an autumn lake. I'm going to put that in afterwards, but these are the flowers that I'm going to be using. So you can let me know what you think in the comments about those. And I'm going to be using this vase to put it in. Typically when I use like my glass vases, I put like glass beads in there, like so you don't see the stems and so on. But these are of a slightly darker color. And also this, because this has that pattern on there, if you can see it, it's so pretty. I've had it for a long time. It breaks up the picture, so you don't really get to see it. And what I like to do is I put my flowers together. I don't know how you arrange your flowers, but I basically put them together first. And then I just stick them in because it makes it so much easier. There's a tag on here though, so I'm going to go ahead and get that off. We don't want to have any tags on there, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and take the tag off. If it will come off for me.
Let's put it to the back for now.
Yeah, we'll just put it to the back for now because it's giving me a little bit of trouble. But so this is it right here, guys. You can tell me what you think. Johnson Combe Decor says, very beautiful. I love it. So I'm looking, I'm watching, and I'm arranging. So I'm going to put that up here. Can you guys see it? I hope so. It's a little dark in here, but I don't think we can do too much more with the lighting. So that's the flowers right there.
Get the other light if you want.
I don't know. It's probably going to make it some kind of a way over here. And then, guys, you know that I kind of like to have my I kind of like more of a farmhouse style. I'm not sure. I know some people they like glam, but I'm a little more into the farmhouse style for this year, or maybe last 2 years or so. So I'm going to be using these candle stands right here. I'm going to be placing them up here. So I figure putting them that way with the taller one to the middle and the shorter one to the end is probably a good way to do it. Or do you think I should put them the other way around? Yeah, I'm not feeling that. So we'll do it this way. So I'm going to turn them that way. And then I have some candles over here. And guys, you know, I like to mix and match the prices of my items. So I'll get some stuff that's kind of inexpensive because these are actually dollar store candles, guys. So sometimes, you know, you can put a little fancy with a little, not so, I mean, expensive, but a little less expensive. We're going to put these here. So that's our top row so far. I hope you guys can see it really good over there. And then in the next row, we have a little bit more lights. I hope that helps. I'm going to put a bowl right here. And because it's a little deep, I'm going to go ahead and this is something I've had for a while, but you can use different things to kind of prop up your things. So I'm going to go ahead and use this bowl. And I have these. These are some pumpkins right here. These were actually from Old Time Pottery. Quite a few of them in there. And this was actually for $5.99. So that's not bad at all, right? You got a whole bunch of pumpkins. They're very, very light though, light as a feather, which is fine. You know, it just depends on what you're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and arrange them. And like I said, you know, when I put this in here, it kind of helps to raise them up a little bit, so that we don't have to put as many, you know, in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start arranging. And guys, you can put in the notes, you know, if you are more of a glam type of a decor, or if you're more into, you know, farmhouse style. If you like bohemian, some people like that. Let me put this one to the back. I think I want that one a little bit more here. If you're more into a more bohemian style, you know, it varies from person to person. We all have our own different tastes. I think we can turn that one to the side a little bit, just to give it a little bit of variety. I'm still taking a look at the comments here. Oh, Jared CS, he says, yes, we can see it. I love the colors. Keep it with a big one in the middle. Thank you. I agree. I absolutely agree. Mondale, what do you think? Mary Precious Jones, if you're still there, I don't know if you had, because I know people come on and off, but they have things to do, and I fully understand that, and I appreciate the time that you give to me here. But you can let me know, you know, what you think. If you can still see it, and the lighting is decent enough for you. And then I think on the top, I just want to put this here, this little pumpkin spray. Look at it, guys. Isn't it cute? It's like a little velvet right here. And it has the autumn leaves. I just love decorating. I just love decorating with the autumn colors like that. Some people use neutrals, but I guess I'm probably not one of those people. So I'm just gonna stick it through right here. So it's kind of like between those two. So what do you think, guys? Does it give it a nice touch? Let me see. He said keep the big one in the middle. Okay, yeah. So that's it so far. I have that one right there, so we can see that part there. And then next, this is my gravy bowl. So I have the gravy bowl. Isn't this cute? With all the patterns on there. I just absolutely love it. Georgia Peacher says, lovely so far. Okay, so this is it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here. Put that right here. So that definitely gives you that feeling, you know, of Thanksgiving. And then next over here, I have this. It says harvest right here. And guess what? My husband actually made this. He actually used a block of wood that he had left over from one of his projects, and he just spray painted it with a different color. And then we got this what do you call this now? This is kind of like an applique, I suppose, something like that. And we spray painted it white, and then we went ahead and put it on there. And I think because if you notice the color I'm working with is kind of like this deeper brown color, because I just love the warm color. So it picks up, like on the candle stands, candle holders right here, and it picks up on the frame right here. So I think it's a good match. And then the white in there, it picks up on the whites that I'm using in it. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of like put it to the middle here. And it says harvest, which is exactly what we're going for. So I think he did a really good job with this, guys. You can tell me what you think about that. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this towards the back. This is like a little garland right here. Nothing major, but just to bring a little bit more of the fall into this.
To break up the
He
spaces
said
also.
the sign looks great. Okay, and Bruce Lee says the colors give the warm feeling of the season. Yes, yes, the color is beautiful contrast. I agree. So I'm gonna go ahead and then put this in next. And guys, if you're just joining me, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm actually decorating. We went over a few things, and I'll cover those at the end too if you'll stick around with me. In terms of preparing for the season, this has a little hook, so I just kind of like hook it back there. My husband is my he's helping me out today. He's my spotter. He was on the last live and he joined us again today. So this is just to give it a little bit of color back there. And believe it or not, guys, maybe you know or you don't. This is actually from the dollar store, so you can get nice things at the dollar store. This is from there, and this is from there, and these are from there. The other things I like from Home Goods or Old Time Pottery. I got quite a few things from there. Whereas again, Garden Ridge. I don't know if they're around anymore, but I have some older stuff from them too. So that's it so far. And then I don't know if you guys know this is kind of large. I have to bring it over carefully. This right here, guys, I just love this. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. I love it. It's called a tureen. Tureen. Maybe I'm not pronouncing it right, but that's what it's called. And this is really, see, it has a little, I don't want to, cause any problems, but it has like a little ladle in there. Really cute. I think I got this one from Old Time Pottery, but I've had it for so many years. And that's the thing, guys, mix and match, use and reuse your items. So this is nice for like stews, for soups, and all of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that right in the center, right here. Make sure we fix this the correct way. Yeah, so it's sitting down there now. So that's our tureen right there. And I think it adds a nice amount of interest there. And I did want to get your opinion on the vase. If you can see the vase right here, the flowers in there. I do have a little bit of ribbon, and like I said, I am going for that farmhouse look. So tell me if you think I should tie it. Maybe I'll just tie it, and you can tell me if it looks good or we should just take it off. Because again, we're just trying to get this going and try to work with each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie it around, and you can tell me if you think it looks good or if I should just take it down. Because I'm open to suggestion, of course. And then that might get tweaked from time to time.
The guy with anime says he prefers it without bows, but he want to see how it looks.
Okay, so that's it with the bow right on there, guys. So tell me what you think. With the bow or without it? You saw it without it, and this because again, it's that kind of a farmhouse theme that we have going here. So tell me what you think. Let me see in the comments. He says it is a lovely vase, and I think it works as is. Okay, that's an option too. We could take a poll on it to see. Or I don't know. Maybe I could put some. I don't think I have any of the raffia because I do use raffia sometimes. But that's it, guys. So you see, it's just a few items that we have here, but it goes a long way. And as I was saying, if you just came on, that the picture that I have on the wall over there, that's more like a springtime, or maybe even like it can be used for Christmas because of the whites in there. So I'm gonna be changing that. I'm gonna put something that's more fall, like a fall look there. So I'm gonna be doing that. So we're just gonna go over them for those that just came on. So we have this right here. These are some beautiful flowers. These are from the dollar store. And these are the cattail ones, with that nice warm color. I had this off before, I have it on now. And these are my candle stands. Again, I'm going for that warm theme. And I need to show you this again. I just think this is so cute, guys. What do you think? I just love it.
Yeah.
I really do. That nice, the velvet look. And this was from Walmart. So I just took it and I stuck it right there. So we have that going, and then this sign, my husband made it from what was left over from one of his previous projects. So we're just gonna put that in here. So you see, guys, we're getting ready. So we have our gravy boat right there. We have our little pumpkins. These came from Old Time Pottery, $5.99. That wasn't bad at all. So we have 3 different colors in there, and I did put a layer in there, so it would kind of give them a little bit more height. So you don't have to get as many to put in there. We have our tureen here. And we have our garland at the back. So that's it as far as the decorating goes. I hope you guys like it because it's going to stay up until Thanksgiving. I will just do a little bit of housekeeping right now. I do want to talk to you guys about an upcoming collaboration that we're going to be having. So let me swing it over just a wee bit so we can both be in here. If you could come over a little bit so they can see you. So anyway, we're going to be having a collaboration. This is for Christmas, though. It's going to be December 1st. And it's gonna be called it's called Happy Birthday Jesus. And I have 6. I'm gonna add one more person to it, to Georgia Peaches, because she's a new channel and I'm trying to help her to grow. She's very, very new and she basically does shorts right now. I'm gonna add her into it as well. But it's Happy Birthday Jesus. It's gonna be on December 1st at 6 p.m. So it's gonna be me and 7 other ladies. And it sounds a little complicated, I think, when people heard it first. I'm going to also do a, what you call it now, like an invite video on it in the next week or so. I didn't want to put it out too early because I don't want to, be way out and then people forget about it or something. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to have the nativity scene in it somewhere. And I know you need to put like a manger scene inside your house. It says some people in a collab saving the date. Absolutely. And listen, it's going to be an open collaboration. So anyone who wants to join, you are most welcome to join us. We are celebrating the most precious gift that was ever given. So it's going to be, you just need to put that somewhere in there. You could decorate, it could be a vignette, maybe on your coffee table, on your sofa table, on your console table. You can use cards. You can use pictures if you have them. You can use paintings. You can use, like little figurines and so on. You can use ornaments. It doesn't matter. It can be a tour of your home. What else can it be? It can be like your fireplace. It can be your mantle. It can be outdoors. If you want to do it outdoors, then I am open to that because it's going to be about your home. So it's going to be the outside or the inside. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a limit on it to 12 minutes because I know once you get into Christmas, it can just really, and we want to have as many people as possible in it. We also, want to be fair to everyone that's in it. So we just 12 minutes or less. If you want to make yours for 2 minutes, that is all well and good. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to make sure that we have it open so that we have all these people come in. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting. And again, guys, like I said, it could be any of those things. So don't feel that you have to like set up a manger scene somewhere. You can just maybe even use like a stack of cards that you've gotten over the years and it features one of those in the center or something. Or even like I have something where it's like, in the window, you put like the nativity scene. It's a lighted sculpture. And you could be doing a home tour and you show us that, and just casually mention the reason for the season in there. And Johnson Home Decor says, I can't wait for it. I know, because that's your thing, right? So I'm just going to give a shout out again to all the ladies that were in here on the collabs that have channels that were on the live chat today, because I know a lot of people come on afterwards because we all have busy lives and we can't always make it at that time. We have Johnson Home Decor, check her out. We have 2 Georgia Peaches, check her out. We had Mary Precious Jones come on. I'm trying to remember who else that has a YouTube channel. Please forgive me if I missed you if it went too far back, but there you can always
Only
check
three
them. Yeah.
we saw that have channels.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So guys, so that's it as far as the open collaboration goes. I'm looking forward to your participation. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. Are you guys excited for Thanksgiving? Because this is what we're doing today. I'm just gonna quickly run over the things for those who came in because I think they're really important. Preparation is the key to keep as much stress out as possible. So I'm gonna run through them really quick for you. My husband showed Black Friday. That's the day
Yeah,
after.
so you gotta be around people. There are some people there that they was get in and get out because
Well,
they
some
gotta
people do it from the
prepare.
Thursday, but
Oh,
more places have started closing down, and I agree with them 100%. The people who work in retail,
yes.
my two sons are in retail right now. Okay.
Oh,
I want them home with me on Thanksgiving evening. If you're in the medical field, and I'm sorry, somebody has to take care of people and all of that. But if it's not an essential service, I really think it's a good idea for them to close the stores on Thursday evening and they'll be there first thing Friday morning, ready and waiting for you, all the
yeah.
goodies that you want. So, that's been a trend recently and I love it. Shut it down on Thursday.
Yeah,
That's just me. Don't hate me, okay?
because
But
there's Cyber Monday and
right.
all
And
that
I'm
stuff.
just looking out for the people who have to be, and it's not because my sons are in retail right now, because they're college kids, they're fresh into college, and that's your little thing on the side. But you want to spend time with your family. There are people too, and I've always felt this way long before from when they were little kids. I'm just like, these people need a break. So I wouldn't even go there. I did it once and it was like, I'm not doing it again. I got a nice TV, but I'm just like, I ain't doing that again. So anyway, if you're traveling, guys, get your tickets. If you're flying, that is, if you're going to be renting a vehicle and you want to make sure that you get your car rental and get it
Yep.
tonight, get it in tomorrow because the prices are going up. It's going to be
Yep.
scarce. You want to make sure that they have you on their little list that this is yours and confirm it. Get your confirmation number, especially if you're in those vehicles that are kind of like in high demand, like the SUVs, the minivans, and all of that. You want to make sure that you book your hotel, or if it's like an Airbnb, you have all of that booked and ready to go. Get your guest list ready. Make sure that your guest list is ready so you know exactly who's coming. Decide, is it going to be a formal get together? Are people going to dress up really nice for Thanksgiving? And you have to let your guests know, when they're coming. You don't want somebody to come in their sneakers and jeans and everybody is dressed up. That's not being a good host. I'm sorry, but you have to let them know so they can properly prepare for it, right? So is it going to be formal or is it going to be casual, right? Do some of your people that are coming, do they have food allergies or food aversions? Because like for us, we don't have shellfish or pork. So if that's the only thing that's available, and we're looking at you like this. What are we supposed to eat?
PB&J.
Do I need to bring my own food, man? Or if that's the case, let us know ahead of time so at least we can make alternate
Yeah.
arrangements, right? Because people, have different. Some people are vegan. If you're thinking, I don't know how to cook vegan, well, let them know you maybe may not have a protein for them, but you're welcome to have all of the sides. Oh, let's see. A guy, the anime profile says perhaps Cyber Monday should be Cyber Friday and people could be home while also getting their shopping fix rather than the physical shopping. Yeah, that's definitely a
Yep.
thought too. Always open to it. Or maybe the Saturday after, Cyber Saturday. But yeah, so make sure you check out your guests that like if they have any allergies, any aversions to anything, if they're vegan and you figure that you don't know how to cater for a vegan person meat wise or protein wise, you can always tell them, let them know so they can always get something there for you. And then you want to know what's on. Oh, and who gets along with who. If they're all coming, they don't get along together. Just space things out so that people don't, like sit next to someone that they, don't get along with. Because you don't want to have any tension in your home. You want it to be relaxed and have a really good time. And talking about the food again, you plan your menu. You know how many people you're catering for. We said there's going to be a shortage of canned pumpkin this year, so get your canned pumpkin,
And butter.
guys. Mondale from Hunch Johnson Home Decoration said there's going to be a shortage of butter, and I have seen it already. So if you like to bake and all of those things, your pies and your cakes and souffles and whatever not, you may want to get your butter and put them away. Store them. Is it going to be like a potluck thing where some people bring food over, like a little side dish or something, or are you going to be doing everything? It just depends on what you feel you can manage.
And how many
You have
people are
your
coming?
yeah, and how many people are coming. You have your sides and your drinks. And as I was saying before, don't test out new recipes for Thanksgiving. Please don't do it. Do it at least like 2 weeks before, maybe even a week before. Give yourself some time. So if it doesn't work, you're like, okay, it doesn't work. I'm not going to do it. But you don't want to be stressed out trying to make this thing work and it's not working. It's not for you. It didn't come out right. And it just makes you feel bad. Because, I don't want to be cooking for people and it's like, oh my gosh, this didn't look right. So test out your recipes ahead of time. Try new things. See how they do, and then when it's something that's really like expensive, then you may put it off until maybe Christmas or something. And then get to-go boxes. You want to get to-go boxes to make sure that when people are taking food away, that they have stuff to take their food away in, a paper or plastic person, or paper or glass, pardon me. So I was saying that if I have more than 10 people, I typically get a few paper plates in there to kind of like help. It's easy cleanup. You don't have to worry too much about all the different things that you have to do. So, decide what you're going to do from early ahead. Get your to-go boxes and how many people you're planning for. Plan your grocery list. Take a quick run to the store and take a look and see, how many people.
What the
The
prices
prices,
are.
what they are, because things have gone up. Know what you can afford, what you're going to do, what you can't afford. So you kind of have a clear idea. Start putting your plans in place. Clean out your guest rooms if you have guests staying over. Clean them maybe like a week before, like a heavy clean, or even 2 weeks before, like a deep clean. And then maybe like the day before, just do a little light cleaning so it's easier on you, or maybe even 2 days before. So everything is all set. You don't have to worry about any of those things. Clean your refrigerator and your freezer. Make sure you have space for your big old turkey, space to put it in there. Because sometimes you buy turkey, it's like, where am I going to put it? You got to make space ahead of time, right? And also, people may end up going into your refrigerator. Maybe send them to go get something, and you don't want people to be looking in your refrigerator and it looks like, oh my gosh, this place is a hot mess. It needs to be nice and clean. So you want to make sure that they, you know, have a nice, welcoming place to go into. Get your entertaining setup. You're going to be playing cards. You're going to be watching a football game. Who likes what. You do all of those different things. So you want to bear all of those things in mind. And then, of course, the decorating. We did the decoration over here. For those of you who came on later, we did it step by step. There's a few things. Mine is more of a farmhouse. I kind of like the farmhouse theme. That's what I've been going for recently. So that's what I did. You can see it really good. You can let me know and give me a thumbs up, guys. And if you haven't done so before, just to see how it's going. And so then, and then you also like plan out, like I said, a week, a day, and so on. And then the last thing, just make sure you have like a little hand sanitizer, some, ear refreshener or, disinfecting spray to keep the place clean and nice. Because we're not full out of the pandemic. So you want to make sure that people feel comfortable, coming around and being around other people. If that's not for you, then it's, you just do what works for you. So guys, I hope that this gave you some great ideas. We have that upcoming collaboration. It's a whole month out from now, pretty much, because it's going to be December 1st. But I'm going to be putting out, like I said, an invite video coming out in the next week or so about it. So be looking out for that. And did anyone have any final things that they wanted to say? Oh, to Georgia Peachy says, thanks for the mention. Yes, absolutely. You are very welcome. And so we're going to, I want you to enjoy your Thanksgiving, guys, as much as possible. And again, I always say we only have one life to live. So each thing that you do, just try as much as you can to keep stress out. Try to get along with people. Ask God for guidance in whatever you're doing, and that way, and just roll with it sometimes. Because sometimes it's like no matter what you do, something pops up. You know what I'm saying? So things happen. You just have to just take a deep breath, count to 5 if you need to, and just keep it moving. It's gonna get better. Just ride it on, or whatever that little speed bump is, and just keep going. And by God's grace, we will get there. So thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to be putting out a video because I actually went with my sister today by the lake. We took a ride out. We saw the beautiful autumn leaves. I'm going to be putting that out in the next couple of days because that's one of our fun things, that I like to do and my family. But I went with my sister this time and we really, enjoyed it out there. So I'll be looking out for that in this upcoming week here. I thank you all so much for joining me. Oh, Jared CS is laughing. Lucy says, no microwave. Well, whatever works for you. But thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is my husband, Mark. He joins me on the live. He's been joining me on them recently, and I appreciate the company, wherever he can.
One thing, for those that do like fried turkey and so on,
yes,
be careful and make sure that you have fire extinguisher and stuff like that there. If you're gonna fry turkey, measure put the water in the pot first
with the turkey. So measure it with the water. How far it can go. So you mark it up because there are a lot of fires, unfortunately.
Right. So you'll know how much water to put in there.
Yes, that's a very, very good one. Thank you so much for mentioning that. Yes.
You have to be careful about that.
So you mark it off, with the water in there, so you know exactly how far you should put.
Yeah, just drop it like an inch below that. when you're doing
Yeah.
it. So in case
Maybe 2 inches, so that
Yeah.
way you have enough of a gap above, so that way you don't end up having the oil spill over when you put the turkey in the oil,
right.
and that way you know exactly how far to carry it up. Or if you're really expert, then you probably don't have to do it. But I'd say if you're, reasonable beginner or not doing it
Just
for
be,
that
just to be
long, just
safe.
do it anyway,
Yeah.
just to be safe. Put the turkey in there and then take it back out, dry it off, and season it up, and you're good to go when you're ready to fry it. All right, guys. So thank you for stopping in. I hope you
All
have
right.
a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much. If you've never subscribed before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Enjoy the rest of your day, and happy Thanksgiving when it gets here. We'll be with you again on Marlene's How To's. Take care.